Hello, my name is Tim Starr.
And I'm Johan Ståhl.
And this is the DIDGET Spinner. This is what you're going to get when you open this up. It's the DIDGET Spinner. You can spin on anything. When you open it up, you will receive first a paper that tells you where to go and get the instructions that you're watching right now. You also get two kind of gimmicks. The gimmick is the spinner that's going to be on your finger. You're also going to receive a special centering device that you're going to need to learn to do the spin, and also a bag of sticky little circles that you're going to use behind the spinner. Okay? So let's start with the spinner. It's going to look like this. Now, this is what it looks like when it's not painted. So I want to show you how this is made. It took a long time to get it to this stage that it's going to work. And it's made of hard, half-hard brass. And in the center there is an axle that is made of tempered steel. And that's the one that's going to spin on your finger. And it took a long time to get it exactly the distance and how that I made this. It's made, if you look very close, like a volcano sticking up, and the pin is sitting at the top of it there. So that's what you're going to get. And behind it here, there is the sticky tape. And what you do to start, you're going to just remove the sticky tape. And it's going to look like this. Now the tape you receive, as you see, there's two sides to it. It's got to have a brown side and a white side. It doesn't matter where you split it, because the sticky tape in the middle is exactly the same on both sides. So if you peel off the brown or the white, it doesn't really matter. And you stick it on the back of it. You already have that on the gimmick that you receive. It looks like this. So that is the gimmick itself. Now, to learn to spin this, the easiest way to use, and I use this color here so you can see it's the same thing that you're getting in your package here, is to get it exactly in the center of the card that you're going to spin. So if you take a card, any kind of card, it can be a driver's license, it can be a ID card, a hospital card, any driver, anything. They're all the same size. As you can see, this fits perfectly in here. So if you take the gimmick and place the gimmick in that little hole in the front, and there you see the eyes and the mouth of the DIDGET, you stick this in here, go down, press. Now this is sitting exactly in the center, and it's going to be much easier to spin if it's sitting exactly in the center, and it's easier to learn how to spin it right there. Now later on in this video, you will see an impromptu version that I have, that I do also, where you do not use this here. When you start to learn to do this, I suggest you start with the long finger, to spin it on the long finger, like this. The reason I don't use the index, I did that in the beginning, is that you can see here, you get less space here between. If you use the long finger, you have more space between your hand. So start learning with the long finger. Now I'm going to show you different ways how to spin the card. And let's start to do a vertical spin. It almost looks impossible. Now when I place it onto my thumb, and I just put it in the center of my thumb, and the same thing, I pressed really hard, and if you look here, it becomes a little crater there in the center. So you just push really hard, and you see you get that little crater there. And that's where it's going to sit. So you just grab it like this. And you can do different ways, but I'm going to show the easy way to start with. I start with my long finger here, and I pushed it. Now you don't push too hard on here, because the card is actually really safe in that crater here. See, it doesn't go anywhere. I can't pull it anywhere. And this is just going to hold it from not falling down. If I hit it now with my finger, see, I can get a spin on it. And it looks almost impossible that you can spin it this way. So you just hit it. If you want to, you can do the snap. It works the same. Now what I do now is I turn the card this way. And now it's going to see, you're going to be sure to hold it pretty much flat. It's not that important, but as flat as you can. And now I'm going to hit it with my finger this way. So I hit it this way. And it's pretty cool when you hit it this way, you can, oh, it's flying away. And I caught it. So same there, there. And I can catch the card. Now, what I do now here, I'm going to show you the back of the card. So I put my finger on the back, right like this, and I do this. And you see, it's totally covered. The finger will cover the gimmick. I cannot turn the card this way. Show my hands. Take the card, place it down on the long finger at the position we talked about earlier. Push down, you get the crater. I can now spin it this way. What you're going to do now is place it down on the tip of your long finger. I do not use it exactly in the center. I use it a little more up here. It's comfortable for me to do. So not exactly in the center, but a little bit up like this. And what I do is I press now down hard. And if you hold that a few seconds and lift this away, you're going to see a little crater here on your finger. After a few seconds, it's going to disappear. But that's when it's going to sit and spin. So you put it on your long finger, right like this. And now there's different ways to spin it. What I do is I use just a snap, like you were snapping your finger. And I place the finger on the corner and I just hit it like this. Now what you don't do is you can't push too hard pressure with your thumb, because nothing's going to happen, you see. It's not going to spin. And you can't have it too loose, because you're going to kick it off. So you just have a light pressure on here, light pressure to hold it into the crater. And when you spin it, you just kick it and there it goes. And the neat thing with this also, if you're using a pay card, you can still use this to pay with it. So when you go, do you take Visa? Okay, beep, flip your card and you're done. So that's how you get started with the spinning. Okay, when it comes to these stickers here, you get a pack with stickers. They will last longer than you think, because many of those stickers that I use here, I use them a long time. And you're going to be scared, you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, it's going to fall off, it's going to fall off. It sticks really long time to your card, more than you think it will. The stickers is double sticky tape, and here in Sweden we call it carpet tape, map tape. And the carpet tape, what I use is, I have a stance that I just punch this out with. But if you want to, you can make it yourself, and it looks like this. It's just a regular carpet tape. And what you could do, if you want to, is take this, stick it on, and cut around a hole, and you have the same thing. And then you peel this off when you have it, when you're going to need it. So it's really good tape, and you can get these anywhere in the hardware stores and so on. It's carpet tape or mud tape, as we call it, double sticky. Cheapest thing you can find. So it's not a special tape in any kind. So let's talk about an impromptu way to do this. And a lot of times somebody gives you a card, could pull a card out of the deck or give you a credit card and so on. You like to do the spin and give it back to them clean. So this is what you do. It's perfect to have this centering device to get it perfect in the center. But it's not going to be good to use this for an impromptu version. Because an impromptu version, somebody's going to give you a card. It's going to be a card that's been picked, and so on. So what you do here, you start with the gimmick on your long finger. And when it's on your long finger, you're very clean. You can flip your card back and forth, both hands, and so on. And if I want to attach this onto the back of the card, I do a flip like this. And now I got it on the back of the card. So how did it get there? What you do is, when I put it over here and I flip the card over, and I do the motions here all the time when I flip the card, and I put my finger now in front of here. If you imagine, if I will fold the finger over, it will be in the center of the card, right? So I place it above the center. So when I do this, it will be in the center. So I'll put my finger right here, and behind here on the card, I will take my thumb and I will push the thumb on this corner and attach the card from here like this. So I get it onto the card, and then I can do the spinning. So it will be from here like this, this, place it there, and you see I'm done. Now it's sitting on the back of the card. So this will be the impromptu way with a credit card or a pay card, any kind of card. Instead of using the centering device and you want to do an impromptu version, you can do it this way. With the card, I can flip the card. And if I want to attach the gimmick now, which I do have on my long finger, to the card, and I want to place it on the back of this one here, that's the front piece. So what I do, I can flip it once, I can flip it twice. But when I get to this point here, I will place my finger so it's just above the center. So if I roll it down, it will be in the center of the card. And when I come to this position and I flip up the card, I'll push down and I attach the gimmick right there. And now I'm ready to do spinning. Let's say that you, for some reason, in the beginning, you don't get it in the center. I'm going to put it off center here now. So it's off the center. And you say, oh my gosh, that's not going to look good. What I do then, and if I have a pay card, for example, I said, have you balanced your account? I'm going to balance the card for you. So what I do here, I go in and I can move and do this 4 times on the corner. See, now I got it perfectly in the center of the card. So what you do is, I put it off center, I place it in here. So behind like this, I push down and I can push the gimmick, see, this way. And I snap, 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 snap. See, now your card is balanced. And then I can go into the spin. See? Let's talk about how you get rid of this gimmick, neat and clean. What I want you to do is, when you learn to do this, do it with a playing card. So what you do is you attach your gimmick on the back of a card. It's very simple to place it on a card because you know exactly where the center is. If you use a normal card, it's very hard to see where the center is. But on the playing card, you can just press it on there, because now we're going to work on how to get rid of this clean. What you do, you have now done your spinning, and if it's become on a table or whatever, and you're going to give this card out for examination, for example. What I will do is I take the card and I go up here and I'm very clean here and I'm done. And how did I get it through this position here? What I have it's sitting now on my long finger at the tip. And this is the starting point and ending point of many of these moves that I'm going to show. So let's place this back again. What I'm doing is I'm done with the spinning, and I come up here and I show the card, can show both sides, and I'm clean, and it's now sitting here. It's not hard at all. What you do now, and look very closely, I'm coming up here with my index finger, not the long finger, and I place it right at the edge of the gimmick, like this. And I'm going to hold it on this side so you can see what happens. Of course you hold it like this, but I'm going to do it this way. When I'm pushed down and have it right there, my long finger goes down and push the card down a little bit like this. And you're going to see a little gap there. So I'm pushing the card down, and I will then turn it up, and then now it's perfect on my long finger right there. And now I'm clean. I can go over here and show the card, and I can even do this. And if you want to really be showing clean, you can do this. Now as you can see, there's no angles whatsoever on this. The gimmick is completely concealed because it's sitting right over there. So let's do that slow. So you've done the spinning on the table. You pick it up, put the index goes right there, 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 and you clean. Now here's a second way to do this, to get the gimmick off. And if you look closer here, we'd start the same way with it. And I have done the spinning on the table, just like this. And I will go up and do the same thing here. I will do this. As you can see, now you're clean, nothing here. When I take this over to this hand, and I show the card, I can place it back in my hand and throw the card down, and now I'm super clean because I have nothing in any other hand. It's back on the card again. So, what do? Same thing here. It's now sitting on my long finger. So I can now show the card this way. I can do this way. Very clean. But in my hand now, as you know, it's sitting right here on the long finger. When I have the card this way, and I've shown both sides, this hand takes my ring finger and presses down on the gimmick. So now it's standing straight up in your hand. So now I go down and I just place the card over my finger here. And what happens is I just put my thumb on it and stick it back on here again. See, now it's on the center of the card. And when you've done that, you're clean. There's nothing here, nothing there. It's back on the card again. I can do that one more time, slow. There. Take off the gimmick. Spin the card. Spin the card. Gimmick sitting here on the long finger. Show both sides. Squeeze. Now it's sticking straight up in your hand. lay this over. And you're super clean. It's back on the card again. So, you want to know how to do this, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. You take the digit, and this is how you load the card, and you get it in the center. So, place it right there, and squeeze a little bit. You don't have to squeeze hard, and you don't need to after squeeze or anything. Just it detaches, and it's good. And now it's ready to go. And that's how you load it on there.
Great.
Yeah. And to spin it, let's start with just spin it on your long finger, which I think is the one that is easiest to do to start with.
You use your left hand. I actually use my,
you use
my
your right hand. Yeah, I use my left hand.
Doesn't matter which you use.
No. So then I do not place it right here at the tip. I put it a little more up here.
Yeah.
I don't know, how do you use it?
Like here?
Yeah, a little bit at the end, for example. You can do that. If you put it at the end, you get a spinning more like on one finger up here. I like to spin it just like this. So, but when you push it down, you put it down and it becomes like a crater down there. So if you push really hard now and lift it up and take a look, you can see the indentation there, and that's what it's going to sit.
It's hard to see, but there you go. It's a small dent in my finger. And in the beginning, it actually hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
But you get used to it.
Just be careful which finger you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you do this, and that's it. Now when I start spinning this, I'm using a snap. And I think that's the easiest one. You can do this, but practice this. And the easiest way to do it, when you do the snap, you just put it right here. And then kick it. And then it spins. So do that, and it spins right there. And it can spin for a long time. In the beginning, you're going to get a little wobble, and that's because you're not holding it straight. You get it just takes a few times. And if you do it wrong, I'm going to do it wrong here. It's going to wobble, you see? Because I had an angle on it. So if you have it flat, it's much easier to do it. Like that. And you can sit and spin and spin and spin and spin when you do it. So that's one way to do it. Yeah, looks right. Now the vertical, you don't do that, right?
No, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. What you do is you put your thumb here, and you push hard. You get indentation here too. Do it. Now, if you feel it back and forth, it doesn't go anywhere. It sits in this crater. It just doesn't go anywhere. So now you put the finger on here so you don't fall down. If you take the finger up, it's going to fall down. But you put very light pressure on there. Not with your fingernail, just with your finger. And so it rotates easy here. Not too hard. And just so it rotates, it's loose here. And now the only thing, easiest way, you can do this, but easiest way to do this in the beginning. And as soon as it starts spinning, what you do is loosen it up a little bit. So as soon as you start spinning, keep it loose, and it spins and spins and spins. It's just a little practice, and it's the tension that you do. And you can spin it on the index, or you can spin it on your long finger. It doesn't matter. That's whatever you feel. And now it's really pretty. When you go here, now what I will do is I don't let go of the pressure here, and I do it this way. And now I can hit it this way. And I go forward. Oops, you see it almost flew away. There, and I catch it there. And when you caught it there, what I do now, I go up here, and I show the card this way. Now I put my finger on the back of the card. And when you flip it with your thumb, the gimmick ends perfectly behind your index finger. So it's from here, there. See, you show the other side of the card. What I will do now is I twist the card this way with one hand. So from here, the gimmick is there, covering this. I do this. Yeah. Take it to this hand, and I can show my hand. It's nothing here. I place it down to my long finger. And now I can do this spin here. So, And that's the sequence to it. So going from this spin to this spin, catch the card, flip the card over, show, there. So, okay.
Nice.
Yep. So, on this the same when you do a playing card. And when you do a playing card, if you use the playing card and you put your gimmick on that one.
Yep.
And there's a gimmick for you.
Thank you.
So place it pretty much in the middle. It doesn't. It's not.
And now you don't
tricky.
need the gimmick.
No,
place,
you don't
yeah.
need it on a playing card. You can kind of tell. It's hard to see if the gimmick sits behind on the credit card. Because you don't have any thing in the center. But a playing card.
Yeah, it's easy to see.
It's easy to see where it is. So. And so it's the same thing. It's you can spin the card, and so on. Now we're gonna learn. I'm gonna show you here how you take it off.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you've done the spinning. The last thing you did was this, there, or you can spin it on the table or whatever you can do. Now when I get it off here, I'll put it right like this, and I end up with the index right on the corner, right on the corner here. Not that much, just on the corner, just like this.
So just like
Yeah.
over there.
So the index and the thumb is there. And now we take this card and with the long finger push down here. Now push down a little bit, and you see it creates a gap
Okay.
there. So then I catch the gimmick there, and I flip it up, and now it's on my long finger again.
Ah.
So
Just gonna show the camera.
see, that was almost the first time you did that. Too.
Yeah.
You see? And that's how easy it is. So, but when you do it in the natural speed, so when I take it over here, and I get it in this hand, I just do this. See how clean that is?
Yeah.
So from there. So I take it there, there. I can show it this side.
Oh, great.
So you're very clean here when you do this. And especially now I have it back on this finger again. So now you can take another card and you can attach it to that card. So that's how you take it off. So now it's off again here. A neat thing is, if I'm going to show my hands totally empty, and this way you can of course give back the card for examination, because I have the gimmick here, right? But let's say that you want to show your hands empty. I can do this here. I can just go in, show this, and I'm clean here. Now the gimmick is back on the card again. It's pretty cool, because what I do here, instead of pushing here, as I did before when I attached the card, I push here, and I raise up the gimmick. So I do it like this, and I do it. Now I have done it here, so it's already here. And I take this and I place it over in my hand, and I just attach it to the card,
Okay.
and I'm clean. You got it?
Yeah.
So there, show, pivot up, lay down here. I'm clean. So it's a neat thing to do. Also, you can use this same move, which I think when I created this one, I thought that was pretty neat, to start with. So I can take this now. A clean way is to do this. See, I'm very clean here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super clean. You can show, there's no angles on this at all. I can take this and show it and do the same thing when I pivot up so it stands straight, just like that. And when I come back here, I can just place my card over it. and attach it. And instead of throwing it down, I can just start spinning with it because now I have the gimmick back on here. So it's there. Now it's back here again, so I can spin the card.
Great stuff.
And the impromptu way to get it on there. This is what I use, and I like this because I can get it so in the center each time, is that I start with it like this. You do a card trick. You get a card chosen, you get the card out, and now you're going to do the spin on it. What I do is I place it over in this hand. Now I'm flipping the card, and I can do the same on both the same. Take it over here, flip once. And when I flip it again the second time, what I do here, I do a dip here. So I do the dip with my thumb, just like this. And I place the card, let's see if I can do it like this, because you can't, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So, and then I push the gimmick right back on the back of the card, so it will be just like this.
Yeah.
And now the
Just
card
show
is
the
sitting right there.
camera.
Yeah.
So you press it like this.
I use that a lot. So I go up here and I show the card. I can flip it a couple of times. But if I want to put it on the back, I do this, boom, and now it's there. Now I have the gimmick there. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So I like to do it that way too. But it's just a practice thing. And the easiest way to do it is when I put my thumb in the center of the card and I put my finger here. If I remove my thumb, see, if I roll it, I'm going to be in the center of the card, right? So when I remove this and put it on the back, I push this like this and flip, and you see the card's right there, and it's ready to go. So, yeah. Now, you can do these things on so many, if you use a credit card or a playing card or whatever, and due to the construction of this, as you see, this is it's a half-hard brass, so it's like a spring. So that's why it doesn't bend when you do all those things. In the center of this, there's a hard steel core.
Oh, so it's two different metals.
There's two different metals.
Okay.
It's a tempered steel, and there's a half-hard brass. So the brass part, as you see in the top here, is like a pyramid sticking up.
Yeah.
It's very important. Plus, at the tip on this here, I can hold it up there.
I can do it.
The tip there is shaped in such way it's going to stay on your finger. Now, it's very important when I made this. I made it in so many of them before I could get it to work. It has to be that size
Yeah.
on it, or it's not going to spin. It's 2.2 millimeter.
2.2?
Yeah.
Not 2.3?
No, it's not going to work. 2.2, I made a jig to make this, and they're all 2.2.
Okay.
If they're less, no, you don't get enough crater when you do it. If it's too high, it's going to start wobbling. So it has to be 2.2, and it's perfect. That's what I got to it. Now, so that's how that piece is made. I tried 3D printing. Forget it. It don't work. It don't hold up. That tip is too tiny. It's just not going to work on that. So that's how it's made. No secret about that. So, and also when you spin the card, you can spin on anything. I mean, if you spin on the playing card, you can spin on the iPhone. I have fun with you can spin on an iPhone or a pad or anything like that. And I can use this when I go to the store. You pay with it. And you have all the groceries going on the conveyor belt up to her, standing there checking, bleeping them off. And you have a hard package or something. What I usually do, I go up and I start to spin and I throw it down on a piece of waffles or whatever, box and it goes up there, and it sits there and spins and spins and spins, and they just stop. The cashier stops. They're just looking at it. And then when you're done, you go up and say, "You take Visa, right?" Blip your card and you're done.
Yeah.
Put it back down. So it's really fun. There's so many ways you can use this on it.
What I like is that I always have in my wallet, so I'm ready to go and do a spin every time I pay for something.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient trick to just always have.
Yeah. If you do it on a hard surface like that, on a cell phone, you can just throw it down and catch it on your phone. It can spin up to over a minute.
Yeah.
Just spin.
Yeah.
Spins and spins.
And
and
this
spins,
is just such an everyday object that everyone brings with them.
Yeah.
And with your impromptu version, I mean, you can borrow a.
Yeah. Give me something, and then you clean it up. You.
And you can make like an impromptu bet, like for how long can you spin a card?
That's right.
Maybe they can do like a second or two.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can do it longer.
Yes, absolutely. And you can also use it as a card trick. If I place this in, if I have the gimmick attached here, for example, and you can have it sit, you don't have to put it on the back, you can put it on the front, for example. Now it's perfect break here. So I can do a card routine, and you end up with this card, and that's the card you're going to spin.
Yeah.
So you can use it for so many things. It's great. And I'm sure there are going to be ways that I haven't thought about yet that you can spin this with.
Yeah.
When you get it in your hand, you will do it. And you remember, on a video that I sent to you, I spun it on the top of a beer bottle.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because if you practice, which I've done a lot, I can take it and put a silver dollar, and I can toss it down, and it lands on it. It sits there and spins and spins.
I'm sure that a lot of the people who buy this trick and gimmick, they're gonna come up with something fun that we haven't thought of.
I like the way you flip there with your thumb there.
Yeah, it's easy, just like a coin toss.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And something I noticed too, when you do this, if you toss the card to the other hand, the card will go like a little boomerang. It doesn't go straight. It kind of catches air when it goes, I noticed.
Oh, like a bendy wave?
Yeah, it's really weird. When you do this, it goes like this. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty neat. And this started approximately over a year ago when Johan called me and said, is there any way you can spin a credit card on your finger?
Yes.
And I say, I'll look into it.
And this is usually how Tim and I work. Tim is my mentor. I give him an impossible dream to create, and Tim Story invents a solution.
Yeah, and this is where I came up with. And then it has evolved more and more, and it turned out really great, I think. The first time I saw something spinning was on a deck of cards. There was John Cornelius in 1979, 80, 81, somewhere. And that's how he started his close-up act. He took out a deck of cards, he spun it just a few seconds, and he started his routine. He didn't do any big thing about it. And Roger Klaus and I was sitting with him afterwards, and he showed a little bit, and Roger Klaus tried it. It didn't work at all, and I tried it, and it didn't work either. So we left it alone. But then I saw somebody new that started.
Gregory
Wilson
yeah.
has done one. So
the revolution with a deck of cards.
With a deck of cards, very nice. This is very different, and super clean. Now the fun thing with this is you can spin it on anything you can imagine. I have a lot of fun with this. Sometimes I go to a grocery store and you have the conveyor belt that goes there with your groceries. I would usually take up the card and I said, do you take a Visa card? And I start spinning it. And then I toss it down on a product that's laying on the band that I bought. I show you pretty much what I mean. I can spin it and I can place it onto any device, telephone, cell phone, or whatever. If you do it this way, it's going to spin a long, long, long time. If you get a little spin on it, you can get it up to a minute spinning that just sits there and spin and spin. Or spin on another card, for example. Spin it on the back of your playing cards, on the deck. You can spin it on anything you can imagine. It will spin a long, long time. And that's the neat thing with this. And then you're done. You take this and you can show it. You can pay with it. See, I took off the gimmick right there. And you're clean. Now, I know that this is, as you've seen, is painted with a flesh color. And not everybody has the same color on or flesh color. So this is just what I use. It's kind of in between everybody. But if you can do something like this, it's just an idea. As you've seen, this is what they look like when they're not covered. You can find Band-Aid, piece of Band-Aid. And these come in so many different colors. There's all kind of colors on these here. And they're kind of flat. This one is covered with that. This is painted. You can take a piece of and put it on there. And the simplest way to do that is to fold this 2 times. And the edge here, you take and cut off a tiniest little piece you can imagine. It doesn't feel like you're cutting anything, but when you open it up here, you get a hole. You can then take this off and take this, and it's simple now because you see the hole. You stick the pin right through the hole, and that's it. Flatten it, take the scissor and just cut around it, and you get something like this. And now you have the color, and this color fits me very good, I think. So, just a little tip. If you don't like the flesh color, you can then add a little Band-Aid piece, and you get it to the color that fits you better.
Good luck, everyone.
Yes, good luck, and thanks a lot for watching.
Take care.